use your masters as leverage. So that's what I did. I did a deal with this company called Sound Royalties, and they gave me $5 million. I had to give them a big interest rate. I had to pay them back like $6 million.
$6 million for $5 million?
Yeah.
It's like a loan shark.
Shylock rates,
That's
definitely. But I didn't care because I had a situation set up with Paramount and Bob Backish that I felt very strong that if I made the movie for 5, I would get back 7 to 10. So if you know me, once I want to do something, I'm doing it. Right? There's no looking back. I got tunnel vision. I don't give a fuck. I'm going. So basically, when I did that, the word got out that I'm doing shit with my masters. Zach Horowitz, great friend of mine, he was the COO of the Universal Music Group. And he called me and he's like, Irv, you want to sell your masters? I said, well, I borrowed money against it. I ain't sell them. He said, but do you want it? I said, well, if the price is right, I said, I want to make TV and film and I want to own it. I want to have the money to pay for it, to own it. He said, there's this guy, Olivier Chastan. He pays the most for masters. And he plugged me with him. As soon as I met Olivier, it was like a love fest. And he gave me like 27x. He gave me a big multiple for my masters. So I took the deal and took the money, right? And then where he got his money from, or the company that he's partnered with, is this company called Pimco. Pimco.
Giant financial firm.
Giant. So he put me on to Ben Frischman. So we sitting there at a meeting, you know, they buying my masters. So Ben was like, so why are you selling your masters if he said, if I could ask you. And I said, well, I'm selling my past to ignite my future. I said, I want to pay for my own TV series, pay for my own films so I could own it 100% and build that catalog up just how I built my music catalog. He said, well, I'll give you $200 million.
Okay.
To which I'm like, you know, coming from where I come from, the nigga say he giving you $200 million. So my immediate response was like, so what you want, like 50% of my company? Or 80%? He's like, nah, I don't want nothing. He said, I just want whatever money that you borrow from me, pay me back 8%. I said, that's it. He said, that's it. I couldn't believe it. The man was offering me a $200 million line of credit and didn't want a percentage of my company. So he said, you know, you don't have to spend that 100 for your masters. He's like, we'll give you the money to make your product. I said, cool. So, you know, it's really a dope story because it's a story of it fell in my lap.
So the story, I mean, the way you tell it, and like I said, when we first met, you actually, you know, gave us a breast to it, but it feels like how's this even happening? How unbelievable is this? Can you talk about the contrast into the industry that you came from where deals weren't structured like that? Where
Oh, no.
Just trying to like take advantage?
Where I came from, if a nigga offered me $200 million, he probably wanted 99% of my company.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, so the whole process of what happened, I got to give it up to God. And God just blessed me because I can't explain it.
So let's break this down a little bit because you said a 27x multiple. So this is important for people to understand because a lot of times people aren't fully educated. So they like, yo, they're looking at music like, don't sell your music because you're not going to have a legacy for your children. But when we were in London, DJ, he explained it to us. I never really thought about it like this. He was like, it's like a startup company. Like when Elon Musk sells PayPal for $200 million, nobody criticizes him for doing that because he used that money to fund SpaceX and Tesla.
Yep.
And now he's the richest person in the world. He's about to be a trillionaire. So he was like, you could look at a music catalog just like that. It's like you selling a company. For us, a liquidation event, you get a lump sum of money as opposed to getting residual amount of money. And now that lump sum.
It's do you take the 100 or do you take $4 million a year for 30 years?
It's like the lottery, exactly.
Yeah.
Which one do you take?
Yeah, the key is to have these liquidations.
And here's the thing. If I'm retiring, maybe the $4 million is good. But I'm not retiring. In my mind, I got other things that I'm trying to do where I could use that 100. But look, doing that deal for the 100, it bounced into the 200.
Mm-hmm.
And then so the 200, that's the line. So the same company, the 100 is upfront. They gave it to you. That's money in the bank. The 200 is a line of credit. Essentially, it's like a credit card.
I ain't got to use my 100.
Yeah.
When you use the 200, as long as you get an 8%.
When I told you, Tails Latin. So Olivier is like, he's like, how much is it going to be? I said, maybe 2 million in that, 20 million. He's going to give it to me.
Yeah.
And that'll be part of probably the line of credit, 20 million, which I got to give him back 8%.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Because once I make it, I'm going to sell it for more to a streaming company. And then, but I own it now. I own it.